Greg Abbott's veto of Dan Patrick's priority legislation has sparked an intense fight ahead of a midsummer special session. This is Tuesday, June 24th, 2025.
Texas Scorecard presents the day's first news for the Lone Star State, the Texas Minute, with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.
Welcome into Tuesday. Thanks for spending part of your day with the Texas Minute. Special thanks to Brandon Waltons for filling in yesterday, especially because that meant he, Nick Shepard, and Walker York were all on the late-night veto watch. Let's get into today's news. A Texas Scorecard investigation reveals a troubling pattern in how law enforcement agencies across Texas are certifying thousands of U visa applications for illegal aliens. The U visa is intended to grant temporary legal status and work authorization to illegal aliens who are victims of certain serious crimes and agree to cooperate with law enforcement. Yet there's evidence that some agencies may be misusing the program for political purposes. From January 2024 through early 2025, agencies across Texas issued thousands of these U visa certifications. An analysis of these reveals stark inconsistencies across departments, raising concerns about fairness, transparency, and even potential abuse. The uneven distribution of U visa certifications range from more than 1,000 in some areas to none in others. This suggests selective enforcement, inconsistent application, and even administrative negligence. According to former ICE Special Agent Victor Avila, nonprofit organizations have begun using the U visa as a last resort to help illegal aliens remain in the United States despite the individuals not being qualified under the program. Parent advocates are praising a series of a half-dozen reforms designed to protect Texas children that are now becoming law. Many of these advocates consider House Bill 4623 by Republican State Representative Mitch Little to be one of the most consequential measures of the session. It ends sovereign immunity for schools that cover up sexual abuse of students, allowing victims to now hold school employees and districts civilly liable when they negligently enable the abuse. Advocates are also pleased with the enactment of Senate Bill 12, which creates a parental bill of rights. Authored by Republican State Senator Brandon Creighton, it protects children in public schools from sexual ideology, and it restricts what K-12 schools can do without parental approval. In a series of interviews, activists and lawmakers agreed that teamwork was key to the success of this session's parent-backed protections for children in schools. Governor Greg Abbott has again vetoed legislation that would have allowed public school teachers to serve on local appraisal review boards. Conservative lawmakers have argued that the measure creates a conflict of interest given the role appraisal boards have in school funding that's derived from property tax levies. State law prohibits all government employees from serving on appraisal review boards, and the proposed legislation would have carved out an exception for teachers. The same legislation was vetoed by Governor Abbott back in 2023. The governor said it is, quote, imperative that members of appraisal review boards be free of allegations that their judgment is impacted by funding for their employers. The Texas Minute will be right back.
The media has an agenda, and having seen behind the curtain, I can tell you it's not what's in your best interests. That's why I started the Salcedo Storm podcast every weekday. Real talk for real Texans. The Salcedo Storm podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts.
The last-minute veto of Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick's legislative priority late Sunday night by Governor Greg Abbott sparked a fierce reaction on Monday. By way of background, Patrick designated early this year as a priority legislation banning the sale of products infused with THC, that's the psychoactive chemical derived from marijuana. The measure is known as Senate Bill 3, and it passed both chambers with only 3 House Republicans in opposition. On Sunday night, Abbott vetoed the legislation, calling it, quote, legally flawed. He also announced a special session to begin in late July, asking lawmakers to create a regulatory scheme around THC products. At a press conference yesterday, Patrick accused Abbott of trying to legalize recreational marijuana. Here's what he had to say.
one can only come to this conclusion, which surprises me. The governor of the state of Texas wants to legalize recreational marijuana in Texas.
The videos created a rare public clash between two of the state's top officials. While Patrick stressed he holds no personal animosity towards Abbott, his criticism was both pointed and sustained. And Patrick said he was willing to lose the next election over the issue.
I'm not mad at the governor, but I'm not going to legalize marijuana in Texas. And if people want to vote me out of office for that, so be it. Not going to do it.
The special legislative session starts on Monday, July 21st. You can find details on all the stories mentioned today and keep up with the latest news by visiting TexasScorecard.com. This edition of the Texas Minute was produced by Nick Shepard and based on the original reporting of Joseph Trimmer, Aaron Anderson, and Brandon Waltons. If you enjoy the Texas Minute, please give us a rating, and if you have time, leave a review. This is the easiest way to help us help others find the show. I look forward to seeing you out around the Lone Star State. Have a great day.